All right, I think we're live on YouTube. Not nearly as good as going live on our Facebook page, but it'll work. So, Mike, I'm going to let you watch for people joining us, and I'm
Yeah,
going to share the Facebook, I'm sorry, the YouTube link on our Facebook page in hopes that some people might hop over here. So,
I got you. Hey,
um,
how you feeling, man?
if I cough quite a bit, I apologize. I'll mute myself.
Still recovering.
I think I'll always be recovering the way I feel right now.
Uh,
See here.
yeah, it takes a while to
Uh,
get rid of that stuff, doesn't it?
it absolutely sucks. It does. Let's see here.
I like that background you got there,
Oh yeah. Anybody on? Anybody watching?
Mr. Jimmy Carroll just joined us. Hey, Jimmy,
Not surprised.
not surprised at all.
Mike, you
I'm
go ahead
excited
and,
for
and run
Saturday.
with
You,
it.
buddy?
Go ahead and run with it and talk while I'm sharing this on our page.
I got you. Christian, how's it going, buddy? How's it going? Oh, we're gearing up for deer season. Opening day is Saturday. I can't wait. I think we got a little. I got some baseball a little mixed in. We got a little basketball mixed in throughout the midday on Saturday, but definitely going to be hitting the woods at least a couple times this weekend if I can make sure I work it out. But I'm just looking forward to getting out in a tree stand or just shoot. I might even slip out and sit on the ground somewhere. I wouldn't hesitate to do that either. There's a couple spots that we have at our little family farm that I could probably squeeze into some bushes and just watch an area pretty closely. It's thick; it'll be hard, but there's a couple spots I got in mind that could be good ground spots. Hey, Josh, how's it going, buddy? What's going on? 4 days till season. Josh, you ought to be getting excited. I'll tell you that. Not sure how long I'll be on tonight. 4 days. Yes, sir. Jimmy, appreciate you anytime you can spend some time with us, buddy. I know you got to get up early. It's always tough. Adventures with Fur, Feathers, and Fins. Hey, hope not the ground. Yeah, turkey mites. This time of year, make sure you all are. I was getting actually ready to bring this up. Uh, Make sure you're wearing permethrin. Put some permethrin on your clothes before the weekend. That's for sure. Get that soaked in and let it air dry. But just to kind of get some comments going, I was thinking earlier today about some of the things that I like to do to kind of prepare for the season or prepare for a hunt, even just a singular hunt. Doesn't have to be the beginning of the season. Hey, Gary, how's it going, buddy? From Jackson, Alabama, down there at working. But what are some of the things that you like to do? Whether it be kind of maybe it's your morning ritual when you get up. This is the first thing you do, or maybe when you're getting ready to get out of your truck, it's the first thing you do when you get out of your truck when you get to the place that you're going to hunt. Some of the things that I like to do is, I wash my clothes in non-scent detergent. That's kind of the first thing that I do. Like later this week, maybe tomorrow, I'll probably start doing that. I'll take a routine spray down from permethrin to make sure I'm prepared for that. I do the inside of my boots. I do all my clothes that I wear opening day. I do the outside of my pack as well, and the inside of my pack. We talked a little bit about this last week. I have one of those old Army packs. It's a green military Army pack that I get from the depot store. I can fit all my clothes in. I love that thing. But so in the mornings, I typically take my safety belt, release. I get all that stuff inside my backpack. I probably put 1 or 2 layers of clothing just in case it is a cooler morning. I like to wear an outer layer of 3D leafy suit type stuff. We wear Titan 3D leafy suit is what I like to use, and I usually wear that as my outer layer when I get in the tree stand. That's what I put on. But one of the things I like to do is when I walk to a stand, I just wear like a regular T-shirt like this. And as soon as I get to my stand, I'm usually wringing wet. John and I have talked about this many times. And I take my shirt off. I bring an extra shirt in my pack, and I dry off. I get all that sweat dried off with the shirt that I wear into the stand, and then I put a new shirt on. I use a different number of non-scent sprays and things like that. I like dirt scent sprays and dirt wafers. I also like to use camo dust. So John, we've used that quite a bit. It usually helps dry your sweat up. So if your shirt's wet, or if you're wet underneath your hat, you can just use that to powder down and kind of get that scent powder, to where it kind of soaks up that that sweat, because the sweat's what creates the odor, and the odor is obviously what gives you away in the woods. But just share some of the things you all like to do in the woods to prepare. What are the things you like to do when you leave the truck? Or I know some people like to spray down before they get in the truck, after they get out of the truck, and when they get to the stand. So share some of that stuff. Share us in the
Man, I
comments.
tell you what, well, first of all, I was gonna say I've got to get all my stuff. I brought all my stuff from the garage into the house, and I need to organize it. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to hunt this weekend because I had a babysitter. My sister, I have my girls this weekend. My sister was supposed to come stay all night Friday night so I
Yeah,
could hunt Saturday morning. And then she was, she goes to UK. She was going to go to the UK game. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'll hunt Saturday morning, um, be home around 10:30, and then I'll just watch the UK game. And then Sunday is Nora's birthday. She turns 9. And
cool.
so I'm not going to be hunting on her birthday. We'll go to church. We'll go out to eat. We'll celebrate her birthday. So I don't think I'll get to hunt. Let me ask you guys. I work in Lexington until 5 o'clock, okay? I can probably be, if I leave work, I can probably be to a place to hunt by 5:30, in the stand by 6. Is that too late?
I think if you're going into the woods, it might be a little bit late for that.
Let's say
But
I'm
if you,
walking in. Let's say I'm walking in 5:45, 5:30, 5:45. Is that too late?
you could bump a deer. You could bump a deer at that time in the woods. But so if you have a place that you know of that might be a good field edge or a wood edge that's going into a field or some type of transition like that, you could certainly go in at that time. There's probably you'd have a less chance of spooking a deer in a place like that. You could
Yeah.
just ambush one that might come out of the woods. So you might have a little bit more leeway if you hunt the edge of a field at that time. You might be able to go in at that time. I know people that have gone in at 5 o'clock and gotten it done at 6. It's just
What time is
it's
it
hard to
getting
say.
dark right now? About 8:30? Is that probably last
8:30ish.
shooting light?
Yep, 8:30ish,
So
8:20.
it would actually be perfect because you wouldn't spend much time. You go in there, shoot, and go home. I could do that, so I could get somewhere to. I could be in the woods, somewhere to hunt by 6 o'clock on Wednesday. That'll probably be the first time. I'm with Gary. It's worth the risk. Would you guys? It's public land. It's not. I'm not going to mess up any a deer I've been watching all summer. If
Yeah,
I see something, it's going to be a surprise. Right, it's a deer I've never seen before. So, I think I might just take my stuff. Put my tote and my bow and everything in my truck. Leave work. Sometimes maybe I can leave a little early. Get there, change quickly, and get where I'm going.
yeah.
Um, I'm hoping I won't know. Excuse me. Thankfully, this is just on YouTube. There's only about 13 of us here because I'm probably going to cough quite a bit. I'll have to get that straightened out before we get back on Facebook. But I will not know if I can hunt Saturday morning until like Friday night. So I just have to be ready to go. I think Steve is Steve Goomer. I think that's Steve. He said he's in the same situation. I don't know if that means he can't hunt this weekend, but he has to work till 5 like I do. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but what's Josh said? If you're sitting in the tree by 6, you'll be fine. I mean, Wednesday, will I be in the tree by 6? I don't know because by 6:30 definitely. So, but I'm with Gary. It's worth the risk. So I might do that Thursday. No, it would be next week. It wouldn't be this week. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Yeah, I got to work next Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll definitely be hunting the. I was going to go to Fort Knox next Friday, and stay all night and hunt Friday, or Saturday and Sunday, all day Saturday and Sunday morning at Fort Knox. But I got to work Saturday, and I got to work Saturday because I was supposed to work the Saturday of deer camp, and I traded.
Yeah.
So I got to work this Saturday. So who's coming to deer camp, by the way? I sent out a link for people to sign up. We only got 3 people, I think. Is everybody bailing on us for deer camp? Who's coming? I need to know. I'm going to send that out again. Because I've not called and told him we're coming yet, so I need to make sure I do that. But who's coming to deer camp? Mike, you said you're going to probably be there.
Yeah, I'm planning on it.
Guys, it's just 24 days. 24 days till Peabody Deer Camp.
Crazy. That I tell you what, dude.
The only people I've heard back from are Dwayne and Tim and Chris. 3 of the best guys there. But
PK just said me and Frankie might be going again.
PK, there's no might. PK, there's no might. You and Frankie got to be there. And not just PK, you got to bring Frankie. Frankie was a blast. Frankie was a lot of fun.
He had a good time too, I think.
Steve says it's his anniversary weekend. Guys, don't get married in the fall. Come on. If I ever get married again, I'm eloping. I'm never having a wedding again. Dwayne, did you marry a second time? I just want to know. PK will be there. He will bring Frankie. Mark it down. John, did you preserve the velvet rack last year? Jimmy, let me tell you a story. Okay, this is not. We're not broad. Usually our shows on Facebook, they've been getting like 3,000 views, which I'm happy with each week. But this one's not going to do that, so I can tell this story. So, as you guys know, and Dwayne's here, he could tell you. I went hunting last year, opening day. Tell him, Dwayne, killed 2 deer, 30 minutes apart. First deer was a velvet buck. First buck I've ever killed. Obviously, first velvet buck I ever killed. And so I had 2 options. I could either, and first of all, listen, guys, that's a horrible, horrible time in my life. And I had like negative $100 in my checking account that weekend. No joke. And so I was like, they were all like, oh, man, you need to take that over to so-and-so. And I'm thinking in my mind, guys, I can barely get back. I barely have gas to get back home. So anyway, I took the head of the deer, and I've got it in my freezer. Well, when I brought my deer back in a bucket of ice and put it in my freezer, a guy that was there hunting, he killed a hog. And he asked me to bring the hog head back and to take it over here to Lawrenceburg to Ben Bauer, who's an incredible taxidermist. So I put those 2 heads in my freezer with full intentions of taking them to Ben, and I just forgot about them. Like, it's not like I never thought about it, but I forgot that, I need to take that hog head to Lawrenceburg. And so last week, that guy texted me, and he's like, hey, have you ever heard back about my hog head? I just was like, oh, God.
Oh, boy.
I was like, what am I going to tell this guy that his hog head? And he gave me $200 too, which is still in my bag. It's still in my backpack, my hunting backpack. I'm like, what am I going to tell this guy? His hog head is still in my freezer. And so I opened the message, and obviously he saw that I read the message. And I was just like, okay. So I walk out. I check the freezer. We're still good. Hog head's still in there. The velvet antlers were still sticking up. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to tell him, like, hey, bro, I forgot. So I took a screenshot and sent it to Hurley, like, hey, I think your hunting guy, your hunting client or whatever is going to be mad at me. He's like, he'll be fine. So I texted him, like, hey, bro, I'm so sorry. I forgot to take the hog head. But as soon as I get a chance, I will take it to Ben. And I still got your money. It's all good. And he was like, okay, thanks. I was like, oh, good.
Yeah,
so yes, Jim, to make I made that into a long answer. But yeah, I still have the velvet is still preserved because it's still in my freezer. And they make a spray that you can spray on there, but I don't think you can do it after it's been frozen. Something like that. But I had to freeze it to get it back home. So like it was, and you already like, if you kill it, have you ever killed a velvet buck, Mike?
Yeah, I've got a full velvet on my wall in there.
Do you? So like, even just like posing for a picture, you gotta be careful. You'll rub all that velvet off.
Yeah, you do.
So I had to be very careful. I mean, I might end up not even being able to preserve it. I don't know, but I'm gonna.
You might be able to. You might.
I'm gonna try to. But anyway, Yeah, that was like, oh man, I got that. So I got a hog head and a velvet buck in my freezer.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've got a deer head from 2021. I hadn't decided whether I was going to get the deer mounted or if I was just going to do a skull mount.
Yeah.
So it's still in there, and I think I'm going to end up doing a skull mount for it and just do it myself. But it's just all it is just getting it out, thawing it out, and
I'm
going to town
bringing.
on it.
I'm going to bring a big pot and propane and stuff to camp because we're going to do a skull mount for Josh's deer
Yeah.
and the deer that I have, not the velvet one that I just found, and that's all I want to do with the velvet buck because it's it's a small buck.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to do a shoulder mount. I can't now. We cut it off, but
Yeah.
So Josh has 3 buck heads in his freezer. So Josh, bring those to camp and bring a propane tank, and we'll take care of it. Gary? Is Caleb on here tonight?
I might bring mine because that's the next step on mine. I've had it outside, and I've let bugs kind of help me decay it and stuff.
I've got
like
mine
that.
in a plastic bag. One of them.
But I've done a lot of work to mine. I've got it pretty clean, but the last thing I really need to do to really help it get clean is to boil it. I need to boil it and get the rest of the stuff off of it. But it's actually looking pretty good.
PK's got 3-2 guys. Listen, here's what we need to do.
Let's go.
Bring all these to deer camp. We'll literally do all of them. We'll set them all up, take pictures. That'll be fantastic. PK, bring your 3. I'll bring my 1. Mike, bring his 1. Josh, bring his 3. Here's a good question. Chris said, sorry. How do you judge when hunting time is over, 30 minutes past sunset? Is there a set time every day? So, Chris, I use I have an app on my phone called AccuWeather. It's just, well, hold on. I'll show you. Looks like, well, crap. Anyway, AccuWeather. And if you go to daily, or if you just go to today and you scroll down, it says somewhere, it tells you when sunset is. Oh, right here. Sunset is at 20:05. I have my phone military time. So 8:05, I just add 30 minutes. So 8:35 is the last time I can shoot. Now, here's the thing. I'm sure everybody else has done this too. Excuse me. If you're back in the woods, it might be like 8:15 because if it's like a thick canopy over you, you can't see. If you can't see, you don't need to shoot. But let's see here. Jim says, hope everyone has a great week. Please be safe in the woods this weekend. Can't wait to tell the pictures. Jim, I hope you have a great week too, my friend.
Have a great week, Jim.
Let's see what else we got. Now we got folks watching who aren't talking. If you're watching,
I gotta get some more antler builder out. My pictures have slowed down a little bit.
Who else was on here wanting it from Crittenden Farm?
Brent Lemming wanted
Lemming.
it. There's a Zach Smith has wanted it before.
Brent Lemming, he's never on our lives anymore, I don't think.
Not typically, sometimes, yeah.
But yeah, I talked to the guy there today and emailed him the information he wanted, and we'll see. I think we'll get it there. He said he already gets trucks from Central Farm Supply, so that'll be easy. You know, Antler Builder bought some trail cameras to set up on different farms, and I mailed one, and it's lost.
Oh, dang.
It's lost, yeah. It's in Lexington somewhere to United States Post.
Gotcha.
Steve said he pulled his public land camera branch grew right in front of it. 90% of the pictures away, so that's funny. Yeah. I have a camera I needed to go get. I was going to go get it this weekend. And, dude, Saturday, I was down and out again, just sick, and I didn't go. My girls were here, so but I need to go get that. I might go get it after work tomorrow. I heard you guys talking when I was sharing the live about permethrin. I just bought a brand new the price. Listen, if you need a reason to vote in November, the price of permethrin has went up.
Yep.
It was like $15.
Yeah. Oh, it ain't cheap.
Yeah. Make permethrin cheap again.
Yeah, for sure. Because you can't go without it. You'll be in big trouble.
Okay, someone said, hey, I'm watching, but I'm not tech savvy. How do you comment on YouTube? Oh, gosh, I don't know who this is. And they asked me how I was doing for COVID. I'm so sorry. Do you have to have the app? I don't know. Do you have to have the YouTube app to comment?
I don't think so. I don't
You
think
have
you
to have an
do.
account. So yeah. Yeah.
Tommy Bowen said weather's going to be great this weekend. It really is. It's going to drop big time, I think.
Oh, I thought it was UWO. I thought that's who it was. WO, thanks for checking in on me. I'm doing better now, but man, I had about 10 hard days
Yeah.
on COVID.
Yeah, you were down and out, my friend.
Bad. You can you hear? I'm still very
Yeah,
congested.
you still got stuff going on. I'm glad you're on the upswing though, because
Me
I know
too,
you were
bro. It was
struggling. I know you were
miserable.
down.
I'm still like seriously like just mowing the yard, like I just taking out the trash. I'm like, I can't breathe. I think I'm getting like bronchitis or something. Anyway, WO, you have to have a YouTube account to comment. As you can see, everybody here has an account. Sorry. We'll be back. So our ban from Facebook is lifted September 20th, which means our first Tuesday back will be 3 more weeks, September 24th.
We got a whipping, that's for sure.
So stupid. It's my fault. I should have been more careful. I'm just hoping they don't go. If they go back and flag things from our past, the page will be shut down. And we'll just start over. I've already determined if it gets shut down, we're going to start over.
Yep.
And we may never get to where we are now, but it'll be fun.
It'll be totally fine.
It'll be a good challenge.
Not back to Tommy. What Tommy said, the weather's going to be great this weekend. I
That's
think
what I was gonna
the mornings are going to be in like the 50s. I think in some places maybe in the upper
48.
40s. That's going to be good. That's going to be real good.
48 degrees.
I can't wait to feel that. Heartland Hunter said we're seeing quite a few already shedding their velvet. Any ideas on why that might be? You know, I shared a picture just a couple days ago of a pretty decent buck that we have that's fully out of velvet. You know, the things that I read, you know, I think some conditions and the condition the deer is in could be part of it, but it looked like a really good deer, healthy deer as far as I'm concerned. You know, some people said drought, and it's like, well, and you've seen my uncle's place. There's some big creeks that snake through my uncle's bottoms, and there's always water in it. So I think it's I don't know that it's drought for us.
I don't think this year is any different. I think we're used to being hunting in the woods by now.
Well, that's true. That's true.
So it's like, man, it's not even season, and they're shedding their velvet. Well, because it's usually season right now. Like last year's season was September 2nd. And so I think that's the difference.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be that could be a little difference. The picture that I got on my trail camera was like August 27th, which it's pretty rare that I see a deer on trail camera that early with it being fully shed. That thing didn't have any velvet on it, none. You saw it. But you know, I think a lot of it could just be just kind of the randomness of you know, they say time of day, and Kyle Sams would be perfect to ask this question. But you know, time of day, once it starts getting darker earlier, shorter days, testosterone levels in bucks start to increase.
Yeah.
You know, and I've also read that a specific deer, if his whole life, if he sheds in late August or early September, a lot of times he will do that repetitively throughout the year, throughout the years of his life. So I don't know if that's true. That'd be something we could ask Kyle Sams as well. It'd be good questions.
James has got his stand up and ready to roll.
Excellent.
With the weather being that ideal, which means it's going to be cool. Are you going to hunt the morning or the evening? It's going to be much cooler in the morning. I'm just going to hunt if I have an opportunity. I'm going to go. It'll have to be in the morning, but hunt when I can. Once everybody else does. I mean, most people want to hunt the evenings early season, but with a cool. I mean, I don't remember the last at least 4 years we've had a cool morning like this opening day. I can tell you what, 2 years ago, Josh, was it 3 years ago? Me and Josh and Caleb hunted at Clay WMA. It was miserable. It was like 96. It was awful. That's Josh. Like, we were just drained.
Yeah, that's hot.
So this is going to be, I mean, maybe a good reason to get out there in the morning. Josh says he'll be out there opening morning. sunrise to 11 and 3 to sundown. Probably a little early, but I'm thinking probably I would like to be, if I get to hunt Saturday morning, I would like to be in my stand, in my tree, ready to go by 6:30. It's still pretty dark at 6, still really dark at 6:30, maybe 6:15,
Yeah.
and be stay there till 9:30 to 10
Yeah.
o'clock.
Yeah. 10 o'clock. I usually sit early season morning wise. I usually sit until about 10:30. And if I start happening to see some later deer movement, like 9:30, 10, I'll push it to maybe 11 or 11:30 and sit a little bit longer just in case. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm a morning hunter. I really enjoy hunting in the morning. I am, and this is gonna people are gonna be like, dude, what's wrong with you? I am not big on hunting in the evening because a lot of times those deer come in literally right at last light.
You don't have to be out there late.
I don't like shooting a deer. We'll say, so if it's getting dark if it's pitch black dark 8:30, you can't see anymore. If I shoot a deer at 8:10 or 8 o'clock or something like that, you know, I you'll be out there all night. It's even if it just
At
makes
this point,
it,
I don't. At this point, I have cared about that in the past, but at this point, I'll be hunting the weekends that I don't have my girls.
yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
care
I get
about that.
that. I get that. It's the retrieval just becomes an absolute chore. You got to get down, and then if you start thinking, did I make a good shot? Yes, I think
Yeah,
I did make a good shot. Then you got to get flashlights out. And you got to try to find the blood quick, and you got to find the deer quick, and you got to. It's just a freaking pain in the butt. And then all of a
yeah.
sudden, it's 3 o'clock in the morning when you get home, and it's like, holy crap, dude.
Better make a good
Um,
shot.
yeah, that's the key. Is you
Steve
better.
said, when you guys get to stand an hour or so for daylight, do you sleep or just sit and listen? I will be in my saddle, and I will take my lineman's belt and I will pull it as tight as I can to the tree, and I'll just probably put my forehead on the tree and listen, and probably doze a little too. A good nap in the tree. Now, here's the thing with the saddle, though. If you don't pull it tight, and if you're not a good sleeper like that, and you start to lean, you fall out of that. You fall off your platform. I know. I've talked to guys who have done that. I talked to one guy in particular who was telling me, he was like, "Man, those things are easy to fall asleep in," but he told me he didn't tighten his lineman's belt, and he fell off the platform. That's why I tightened it. Josh says I sleep the entire hunt. Probably 40% is all.
Yeah, it happens.
Probably 40.
It happens. I cannot sleep in a tree stand. I'm in fear of a deer walking in on me, and me not being ready. So I'm never sleeping. I'm always freaked out that something's going to show up. But
I
what I will
can't
say is,
not fall asleep. You're
I
out
get
there in
it.
the dark. It's quiet.
Yeah, I get it. That's for sure. It's just
I
one thing I'll say is I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, I get in the woods an hour and 30 minutes before daylight." I don't do that. When I was a kid, my dad used to force me to do that, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know how many times I've gotten in a tree stand and I've gotten there so freaking early that I've just been sitting there and I hear deer walking around and there's zero that I can do about it. Nothing. A deer will walk underneath my stand and I'll hear it. And it's like, I'm sitting here in the pitch black dark and the deer's here. But they move on. They move on. They don't stay there. They just move on. And by the time daylight comes, they're gone. And it's so what I would rather do is that aggravates me. I don't want to get there that early and hear all that crap because there's nothing I can do about it. So I get there at about 20 to 30 minutes before daylight, give it enough time to settle in. I just
that
don't
way
want to
they
be
hear.
there. I don't want to
That
be
way
there
they hear
so
you,
early.
right? That
Maybe
way
they
they
do.
hear you.
Maybe they do, but I don't want to hear them when I can't do anything about it. So I don't get there that early. I try to get there at about 20 to 30 minutes before it gets daylight, let things settle down. And as soon as it pops up light, hopefully they come by then. But it drives me nuts when I get there so early that I hear them and there's nothing I can do about it. Drives me
Yeah.
crazy.
I think for me, ideal time is to get to the tree an hour before daylight and just take my time setting my gear up and get in the tree at least. I mean, I say 30 minutes, but if I'm there, it'll take me 15 minutes max to get in the tree. Like once you've done it several times, like Josh said the other day, it's like riding a bike. You have your saddle on, you put your sticks up, and you climb. Um, but yeah, 45 minutes to 30 minutes if I'm in the tree, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I would like to say an hour. It just never works out that way.
Right. I mean, it's for one, it's a, say it takes an hour to drive to the place that you got to
Yeah.
get to, and then you need an extra 30 to 40 minutes to get in your stand an hour before daylight. You're getting up at freaking 3 a.m., man.
I'm usually at least a 30-minute drive. Yeah.
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 Usually about 45 minutes, 50 minutes, give or take. And then it takes me about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to get to a stand, depending on where I'm going on the farm. But usually the walk and setting up is much faster than driving down 45 minutes.
I've asked this before, but when you guys are walking to your stand, are you creeping, crawling as slow and as quietly as possible, or are you just getting there? Because I mentioned this before. I don't know. Maybe it was Paul Priest was on when we talked about it, and I said
Yeah.
Mark Kenyon is one of the most influential deer hunters in America right now. Wired to Hunt podcast, excellent podcast. And he said that he used to be very quiet, but he realized even moving quietly, the deer hear you. So now he's just trying to get there as fast as possible. He's not running, but he's trying to get there as fast as possible and just let things settle down while he's waiting on shooting light.
Yeah. I tend to move slow. I try to give myself time to get there, and I move really slow
Yeah.
because the thing that I try to think about, I guess it's in my head. I don't know if it's right or wrong or indifferent, but so if I'm moving fast, a deer that might be 100 yards away might pick up the thrashing or the thumping or whatever might be going on if I'm going a little bit faster. But if there's maybe you're walking by a big, thick, nasty, woolly field or something like that, and if you're moving fast and making a lot of noise, you might jump that deer. Whereas if you're kind of slipping by, you might slip past that deer. And especially public, you hear all the time where if a deer will just lay there and not necessarily get up, and that hunter will walk by that deer. So if you're just kind of slipping through there and you're careful, that deer might not really get up and freak out. It might just lay there and then eventually get up after daylight. And who knows, it might end up coming your direction if you haven't bumped it too hard. So that's just kind of, I try to make sure that I'm going slow, even though more than likely, if you walk into a deer, it is still going to freak out and run, but you're less likely, in that 100-yard radius, I think you're less likely to spook a deer that's a little further away from you if you're taking it easy.
Yeah. I just go at a normal pace. I don't go fast because I don't want to sweat. I don't go slow because I just have a hard time going slow.
Yeah. That's another thing. That's another huge reason why I go slow. Because I'll sweat my rear end off if I go fast. I will be in big trouble.
What do you do if it's dark and you're walking around? What do you do if it's dark and you're walking in and you hear the deer on the ridge blow at you, and then you hear it blow as it runs the other way? Just go to your spot.
That's depressing.
Nah, it happens.
It does happen. It's depressing when it happens. No,
I don't think that means your hunt is over at all.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that. It might mean it for that deer. That deer has freaked out, and it's unfortunately
depends on why it blew at you, though.
Yeah, it depends. If it saw you, if it saw your light, if it saw something, or if it smelled you. A lot of times they typically smell. They typically will see you and then smell you in those cases. But just hunt is normal. I mean, unless you have a plethora of places to choose from, you might back out and say, okay, thought I was going to this stand, but now I'm going to go to this stand over here instead. But honestly, I have had that happen. I've gone to the same stand, same vicinity that happened to me to, and just an hour later, a deer comes by. Your hunt's not over. That's for sure.
Yeah. Do you guys always check? One thing I'll be doing Friday night, if I get to hunt Saturday morning, Friday night I will be looking at an app that I use. I'm trying to find it so I can show you. I use this app right here. It's called a Windy app.
Yeah.
Windy, and it's the most accurate um, wind app that I know of. And so I will be using that because the place that I would like to hunt Saturday morning, um, if the wind is blowing southwest, I'm sorry, if the wind is blowing northeast, then it is a no go. Like it'll be blowing exactly where the deer are, and there's no way I can get in there without them smelling me. But if it's blowing anywhere, any south wind or northwest wind, 100% good. And so, do you guys check that before you go in Friday night? How do you guys do that? As far as do you have different locations that you use based on the wind? I think some people don't care, but I have just seen a difference. I feel like in this one particular place I'm going, um, when I've seen deer there and not seen deer there, the wind has played a role in that. So, Mike, do you have different stands versus different wind directions?
Yeah, you know what? I probably don't pay as close attention to that type of stuff as I probably should,
Yeah,
because normally what outweighs for me is I'll think, okay, if I'm hunting Saturday morning, I almost always see deer in this spot in the mornings early season. That's a good looking deer. Um, I'll just think to myself, I always see deer here at early season in the morning. I'm going to go sit here regardless of what the wind does because I typically
yeah,
see over there. So I don't really pay that close attention. Plus, I think with a larger place to hunt, you have those opportunities. It's a little bit more flexible. There's a little bit more flexibility with that. If you only have 60, 70 acres, there's only so many places you can go to get away from that. So you kind of just got to go hunt at that point.
yeah. Joe asked if this is a decoy or a fathead. It's kind of like those fatheads you see, but it is
Yeah.
you can see it's a decoy. Um, Global Outdoors makes it. It is a good looking deer, isn't it? But I just want to show it off. I've got several behind me. I've got deer. I've got a bear. I've got a turkey. So
I'm gonna put one.
that's a shooter, though, isn't it?
Yep, I'm gonna put
That's a
one
shooter.
right. I'm gonna put one right here on Saturday on a big old slick head right here.
So Peyton Goebel gave me several of these. Um, I've got more back here. I'll show another time. But he gave me several of these. He gave Mike some, and like this one, I don't know. He gave me some that had some defects on them, but you can't even tell. And so I'm going to use them as targets. And then he gave me a black bear that's like perfect. Hold on, I'll show you the black bear. I've not even seen it yet. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Hey, Philip, how's it going, buddy? Looked like you got into some doves the other day. Congratulations on that. Makes me hungry because wrapping them suckers in bacon and jalapeno sounds amazing right now. Anybody else dove hunt this weekend? I know that's a little bit of change of subject, but since I thought about it, there he is.
This is the bear.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
It's gigantic.
That is big. That's awesome. Looks great.
Doesn't it though?
It does. That's really cool.
Yeah, so that was and he sells those like there's another company that makes those called I think it's called Dead Nuts Outdoors or something like that.
I think I have heard of that.
And Peyton's are just as good. They're printed. They're like if you have one of those political signs like a Trump 2024, it's the same thing. And
I mean, I'm just looking at this bow on the screen. I mean, that it looks amazing.
He sells his for cheaper, so
pretty cool.
Really cool. Yep. Is anyone going hunting just for the freezer this weekend? If I get to go hunting, it's going to be, I won't say the very first thing that shows up, but if a doe walks out, I will shoot the doe. If a buck if a buck walks out that looks like that, I'll shoot the buck. If it looks half that size, I'll probably shoot it. But
yeah,
I'm not going to be too picky, Joe.
I'm definitely gonna be doe hunting. If a big old nanny doe walks in on me on Saturday morning, yep, I'm letting it fly because I love
if it's just a little like a yearling doe.
Yep, I won't be doing that. If I see any visible spots, I typically
No, not a. Well, I guess a 2-year-old, year and a half or something.
So a year and a half. Yeah, I mean, if it's a doe that's a year and a half year old, and I don't see spots or, and I deem it, a good looking deer, I'll definitely.
No, I think we asked a while back what's the most deer you killed in the season. Does everyone have like a goal of how many deer they want to kill? Personally, I would like to kill 4. I killed 2 last year. That's the most I've ever killed in a year, obviously. I'd like to kill 4 this year. That would feed me and my girls for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'd like to kill actually, I'd like to kill more than that, but my goal is to kill a buck and a doe on my Kentucky tags and a buck and a doe on my Fort Knox tags.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to do. Just bought my Fort Knox tags, by the way. $36 gives you an amazing opportunity. 3 will fit my freezer perfectly. So I've got my fridge. I can put some in my freezer in my kitchen. I can put some in my freezer in my garage fridge. I can put some in my freezer, my chest freezer. I don't have like a stand-up. I have a deep freeze.
Yeah.
So I could probably fit 3 in just the deep freeze alone. PK said he's going to go until the season runs out. I'm going to be hunting from now till January. For sure. I need you to give me the rundown on Knox. I'd love to go with you out there. Let me know. Yeah, I tell you what, Philip, if you'll shoot me a message, I'll send you the information when we get off here. The only thing you really need to do to archery hunt is to send in your IDs, fill out the paperwork. They'll validate your ID. I don't exactly remember how to do it, but it's very, very simple. And then you can archery hunt. That's all you got to have to archery hunt. And then for gun hunt, all you do is when you go out to archery hunt, you just fill out your paperwork, drop it off, and then go back to archery hunt a second time and pick it up. It's very simple. As long as, if you lived 6 hours away, it would be difficult. You don't even have to do that. You could just mail the paperwork there. And then when you go archery hunt, pick it up and you'll be good. So it's
if you mail process. Yeah, if you mail that in now, you'll totally fine. If you wait till October, November, you'll be in a little bit of trouble.
But. Well, I mean, that's kind of true, but like there were guys out there the same weekend getting their gun registered and hunting the next weekend. So that's what I did like 2 weeks before. But and once you do it, I think you got 2 to 3 years that it's good. 3. I was going to say 3. That's what I thought. Yep. 3 years. So you do that every 3 years, not a big deal at all.
Yep.
Oh, you're in Louisville, so you're great. You're 45 minutes. If
that's close.
Yeah. I'm an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'm about 2.5 hours or so.
An hour and a half, man. I think I would really like to. I was looking last year. PK was gracious enough to let me sleep on his couch. I don't want to do that to him every other weekend this year, so. I think I'm just going to get a pass there. Hour and some change. Oldham County, so you're a little north, yeah. Otter Creek Campground is right near there. It's like $20 to sleep in a tent there.
Not bad.
There's ways you can go up there and stay. There's going to be probably I'm hoping at least 4 or 5 times I go out on a Friday hunt. Saturday, all day Saturday, and half a day Sunday, and come home.
Yeah,
so, or maybe all day.
Yeah. I don't know what my number is this year. I definitely would like to get some more deer steaks. I've been since I work from home 3 days a week. I've been trying to try not to eat. I try not to eat like breakfast in the morning, and I definitely am trying to cut back sweets. So what I've been doing with the deer steaks is I've been actually cooking eggs from my chickens out back. and then I've been mixing it with deer steaks. So I've been trying to do that quite often, and I've actually run out of deer steaks. So I definitely want to add some more of that. The most deer I've ever gotten in a season is 6.
That'd be great.
That was a lot, but it just was a lucky year. I got 3 with a bow, and I think 1 with a muzzleloader and 2 with a rifle. I think is how that ended up. But this year, I think it'd be a lot of fun to do bow, crossbow, muzzleloader, rifle. So I think 4 and try to get one with every weapon would be a lot of fun.
Hey, I saw several of you shared this link on your Facebook page. I really appreciate that. We've had a good crowd. I mean, we won't have the hundreds of people that just catch it and watch it, but we have, 20 some people in here. That's pretty good. Camp Carlson at Knox, a great place to stay. I'll check that out. Gene. It's Doug.
Yeah, I love it.
Check it out. Joe
and
says he's going to start the carnivore diet. I'll tell you this. I did it for about 2 weeks, Joe, and it was amazing. I felt great. I slept great. The problem I ran into was, I was having to cook like 3 different meals for me and the girls because they didn't want to eat what I wanted. They wouldn't eat. They need vegetables and stuff, but they sometimes they want different things too. So I just didn't like having to cook different things. However, now I've just went to making sure I stay under total number of calories. I've been losing weight that way, but very heavy on the meat and protein. So that's why I want I'll eat vegetables and fruit or whatever with one meal, but at night I'll probably just eat like a carnivore meal. So I'm trying to lose some more weight. I have a goal to get to before deer camp, and I'm getting there. And so I just want to be able to go on hunts and hunt all day and not get tired. Just need more energy. So a few chickens for the eggs. Josh has got some chickens. He just got some chickens. Mike has chickens.
Yeah.
My girls want chickens, but I don't know. So if they clean up the crap,
you don't really have to do a whole lot, man. Once you get chickens established and you do things to make sure things don't get them, they pretty much take care of themselves. They really do. Water, make sure they got water, make sure they got feed, and they're good to go.
Yeah, we have a very strong hive of bees, of honeybees.
Nice.
I need to buy me a suit. Because when we first got them, I'd go out there and they wouldn't bother me. And then one time, dude, when I drove by on the mower, I don't know what happened. I ticked those suckers off, and
you got lit up.
They lit me up. I mean, all up my head, behind my ear, like my lymph nodes were swollen. They got me under the arm. So now I'm just like, okay, I'm not messing with them. But they're pretty strong. I need to go out there. I've never harvested the honey. I've just let them eat it, and they'll eat it like during the winter or whatever.
Yeah.
But I need to go out there and at least get me 1 quart of honey from it.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff. And that local stuff, man, will help you with allergies and stuff.
Yeah. Right now I'm dying. Like I'm just holding in every cough so I don't cough to the mic.
Dang.
I think though, Joe said dogs knocked his truck out of gear this evening. It was the first time I've had to run in years. Oh no, that's horrible.
Crap.
Even worse, Philip says he dry fired his bow.
Oh no.
I would be depressed. You talked about being depressed over bumping a deer. If I ruined my bow, I'd be so sad.
That hurts. Accidents happen sometimes, but if
you guys have TikTok, you need to follow Bowtalk, BOWTOK. I think he's out of Georgia. I just saw Gerald Swindle was down there. Went to his bow shop. Macy Watkins went to his bow shop. He's got a good account, and he'll show videos of people dry firing their bows or doing something. And then the craziest one is when this guy pulled back his bow. Who are you talking to?
No, buddy.
Huh?
I'm just pointing to where we're shooting on Saturday.
Oh, well, this guy drew his bow, and his limbs locked out like what do they call it? The let off.
Mm-hmm.
And his string just went limp, but his bow was still in position to fire.
Engaged. Ugh.
Yeah, and he was like, okay, I'm just gonna set this down real slowly because it could just explode at any second,
Ugh.
And so that
That's
would
scary.
terrify me. That terrify me. You
That's
replace
scary.
strings, sight, cables, and cams. Limbs are still good.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good. That's really good that the limbs are okay. That's kind of the main deal there.
yeah,
You can
absolutely.
replace all that other stuff without too much headache.
I was
But
just buy a new bow. I guess I don't know. I don't know how much it cost.
you would if the cams and stuff were all busted up. You'd be
The
in big
cams
trouble.
were busted.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing good's the limbs,
Oh,
which
that's
is
what I meant.
probably the
Yeah,
most
sorry. Yeah,
expensive.
I meant to say if the limbs were busted, you may as well
You'd
just
have to, I guess. I
call
mean,
it up. Yep. That's rough. Terrible
the
timing.
difference. He said the difference in getting it fixed and buying a new bow was $100. I'd be sad. I'd be
Yeah.
so sad.
Yeah. Oh man, that's
Anybody
tough.
using a crossbow this year? I'm gonna as soon as it comes in, I'm gonna start using it. I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun, man.
I'm excited about it.
I'll be honest with you. It's a different. It's
If
certainly
you don't
different
like it,
than.
you can kiss my tail. I don't care.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's legal. It's really fun. I had just in the last year or two. In fact, was it last year? I think last year was the very first time I killed a deer with a crossbow, and it was really fun. I had a blast. Just
Was
as
it
I
a
had,
Peabody?
that was the very first deer
That's what
that
you
I
got
got
made
with a
fun of.
crossbow.
You got
Yeah,
made fun of for using
yeah,
it
I got
too.
made fun of, but that's fine. Whatever.
They
I've been
can
hunting a lot.
suck it.
Listen, I've been hunting a long time. I ain't worried about people. You know, I
Gosh,
hunt.
no.
I
Especially
know that
those losers, right? Especially
I,
those losers.
I know that I hunt legally, and I do my very best to make sure I leave things better than I found it. And I've hunted for a long time, man, and I've gotten deer with a bow. I've gotten it with a shotgun and rifle and whatever. But
There you go.
it's fun, man. I enjoyed myself with that. That was cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to use it. I can't wait to let my daughters use it. They've never shot it.
Yeah,
And when you first shoot a crossbow, it's impressive. You're like,
it
whoa.
is impressive. It zips them. It zips them
Yeah,
things.
I love it. So
It does.
I gotta get it out. I gotta get it out and shoot. I've not shot my bow at all. I've checked it. I've got it out, looked at it, checked it. I gotta go. I'll be going this. Well, actually, maybe tomorrow. Philip said he was going to replace the bow, but he talked to the tech talked him into saving $100. Basically, said if it falls in the field after repairing it, that I'd get a replacement now or a discount on a new one. Well, there you go. There you go. Hey, as long as it works, man.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as they fix it up for you and you're good to go, that's all matters.
How did you dry fire it though, Philip? Because I know you are an experienced hunter. Did you just pull it back, not thinking you're gonna let go of it?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. So, like, if you're just testing, like, every year you pull it back, maybe you put your release on, but you don't plan on shooting it. You just pull it back, and sometimes, maybe you accidentally hit the tree. I mean, it probably was an accident for sure, but
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen that happen. Now, I've seen it in cases where it wasn't a full blow up, but I've seen people just hook their release on the bowstring and they just pull it back just to
No,
pull
man,
it
I
back.
would not. I would never do that. I don't
I
trust the release.
yeah,
I
it's
could not do that. No way. Someone just texted me and said that hunters who shoot crossbows squat to pee. What do you think about that?
I love it. That's hilarious. That's good stuff. Who said that?
The old 9-fingered man.
Ooh, man.
You know who that is? The
Yeah, I
9-fingered
do.
man.
Yeah, I
Timothy.
do. Dang, Tim. Dang.
Hey, my girls, my oldest girl really likes Harry Potter, and they
Yeah.
have like 9 3/4 or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, girls, I know a guy that I'm gonna start calling that 9 3/4. They said, why? I said, well, he cut off like a tip of his finger. Philip said he was target shooting, was tired, and he said, Phil said, I was target shooting, I was tired, and I swear I had an arrow knocked, fired the bow, thought the string just busted. I went looking for the arrow. 10 minutes later, I looked at my arrows, had all of them. Oh, man.
Just an accident,
Yeah, just an
It's an
oversight.
accident. Hey, happy birthday, Tim. It's Tim's birthday today. So
Oh, happy birthday, Tim. Happy birthday. Yeah.
You crossbow hater, you.
Joe said he has a bow, has 0 kills, the crossbow that has 0 kills, and both are going to get a kill this year. That's what I like to hear.
Let's go. Yeah, that's great.
Yep. Man, I tell you, my hair's a mess. If I can kill 4 deer and a black bear, guys, I think I'm. Listen, I think here's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna call Hurley. Now look, I don't care what people say. Like who was it last year? Is like, that guy, that friend of Bub's was like, you had to hire a guy to go kill a deer. I don't care. I don't care, Justin. Anyway, he's a guy I invited him on the show.
Yeah.
Because he said our show was stupid or something. And then everybody started giving him a hard time and he left. Remember that? Anyway.
I do remember that.
But I think I'm just going to go ahead. You know the saying, if you can't beat them, join them? Well, there's a major problem in Kentucky. And I'm going to, at some point in my life, work to get this changed. That the dog season of black bears, the dog black bear season, is the 5 days prior to black bear archery season. And I think that's unfair to archery hunters. Because, dude, those bears, high alert. They're on high alert after being chased by dogs for 5 days.
Sure.
And I think it's unfair to archery hunters. I think it gives us an unfair advantage. I think archery season should come first, then chase with your dogs, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's
But Mike, if you can't beat them, join them. And I think this year I'm going to just get somebody to chase me a bear up a tree, and I'm going to knock that thing out there. And then what you're going to see behind me is not going to be a fake deer. It's going to be a bear rug.
I like it. I like the idea. I love the idea.
I'm going to save one vacation day. I think I'm going to do it.
I love the idea. I mean, it's a different level of hunting. I do think that needs changed. There's nothing wrong with that type of hunting, but it needs to be set up to where, because like they say, the bear has the best nose in the woods. And you're probably right. I would venture to say getting a bear after that bear chase is probably extremely difficult.
Man, I want to know the reasoning behind it. Like, why is there a biological, scientific reason behind it? And if not, then let's switch it.
I'd love to know myself. Those are questions we would need to get some experts on the show and chat about.
If there's no reason behind it, then let's switch it. Actually, I think I might send an email tomorrow. Everyone's just at 5'9", right at 29 myself. Mine is, I'm 6'2", and I think mine's 29.5 or 30. My draw length. I sometimes feel like mine's a little short, though.
It probably is if it's similar to theirs and you're taller.
Well, no, Joe's is shorter than mine.
That's what I mean. Yeah, yours is longer than theirs. It probably should be longer than theirs. So you're probably a little short, like you said.
Joe and I are the same height, and his is shorter than mine.
I got you.
Yeah, but Philip is 5'9", and his is 29. I don't know. And it depends on, like, is your
arm length and
like your front arm is, do you have it all the way extended? Like mine is bent, right?
Yeah, you typically want to bend.
The guy that set mine up, he wanted me to have a nice bend and be very comfortable there. Mm-hmm. And then I have it back right here in my, whatever that's called.
Yeah.
Under my ear.
Yep.
I really think I need to buy me one of those, like one of those kissers or something.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I'm inconsistent.
Yeah, I get it. That's something that we get to in these discussions all the time. I can't ever bring myself to change my equipment. So I have a Cobra release, and I've had it. Literally, the straps on my release are fraying because I've had it for so long.
But that's not changing your equipment. You're just adding a little piece to it.
Yeah.
I still want to. I don't know if Dwayne's on here, but I really, really. No, Phil. I wasn't talking about my anchor point. I'm talking about whatever this is called on my face below my ear. Yeah, my anchor point is always my knuckle right there below my ear, whatever that's called below my ear. But I really want to try those beast broadheads.
Yeah, they'd be pretty cool.
They're like $60 for 2 broadheads, but they say you can use them over and over.
Yeah,
Broadheads are expensive, man.
they're really expensive. Yeah.
I've got 3 good ones for this year and 6 arrows, so that should get me through. I don't know, but brother, I think it's time to go.
Yeah.
I
We're
can't
wrapping up.
wait till we get back on Facebook. It just makes it easier for everyone. But for Philip and Joe and Gary and Jim and Dwayne and Steve and
Doug,
Josh and everyone else that got on
James,
here,
we appreciate you.
I know I'm leaving Chris, Doug, Tommy. We really do appreciate you getting on here and hope that you had a good time. I'm gonna have to go take some NyQuil and go to bed. But
Yeah.
hey, man, 4 days. As you kill something this weekend, make sure you send it to us. We'll put out pictures and photos. We'll keep there won't be any guns, but we're gonna stay away from guns. And yeah, we appreciate you. Thanks for sharing it. We have a newsletter that'll be out Thursday morning. We send it to a lot of people, but not a lot of people read it. We have about 3,000 or 4,000 people read it a week. So we have way more that don't read it. So we'd love for you to share that too. Anything else, Mike, I'm missing?
No, we're gearing up, man. We're gonna get that out on Thursday, and all of a sudden we're gonna be hunting on Saturday.
Absolutely. So appreciate you guys. Be safe on Saturday. Can't wait to see what you guys kill and pull in. Mike, I appreciate you, everybody. Have a good night. We'll see you next Tuesday.